All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Julia, and I'll be the MC this morning. Just a quick reminder, in case anybody missed a sign walking in, please make sure that you're not parked over in this lot here and that you're parked across Palm Avenue in the lot over there. Is anybody here for their first 1 million cups today? First time, awesome. How'd you all hear about it? Was it like through school? Was it okay, that's what I was kind of figuring, just looking at kind of like it's just a good guess. I was gonna say y'all probably had that one event that you had to do this semester, and this is the day you decided to come do it. So awesome. We're glad you came and joined us. 1 million cups is really about helping entrepreneurs grow their business, and kind of, it's not Shark Tank. In some ways, it's a good prep for that, right? Like you can come here, do your presentation, your pitch, and you can take that and refine it. But it's really just a great tool for you to find resources in the community to get other people's ideas about, hey, this is what I would do for your business, or this is a good direction to kind of take that in. It's a great place to get feedback, and it's a great place to, see other people present their stuff, take their ideas, not steal their ideas, but just, get some ideas for your own business about how you would structure it, or maybe things that you see where, hey, they're doing this niche and I want to fill another niche. It's just a great place to come and learn and, interact with other entrepreneurs, and also a great place when you have a business to present it and get some feedback on it, and kind of take it from there. We have a lot of different people involved with this organization, and it's a great way to get a lot of perspectives on your ideas. If anybody's taking photos today, if you could go on ahead and be sure to tag us on social media. We have facebook.com. It's 1 million cups Tampa. For Instagram, it's at 1MCTPA. And on LinkedIn, it's 1 million cups Tampa. If you all could go on ahead though and check in here, we got this wonderful space from Hillsborough County. There's a stand-up QR code that's for the ECC that lets them know that people are using the space. And the flat one is for 1 million cups, and that lets the Kauffman Foundation know that people are coming and attending these, and that they should keep supporting this amazing program that they've put together for us. Also, if you scan the check-in for 1 million cups, you could win some swag. You might get a notebook, coffee cup, all kinds of cool stuff. So just go ahead and check in with those. So today we have 2 presenters, and we're going to go on ahead and get started with our first one since we're getting started a little bit late here. So I'm going to go on ahead and call up Adae Fonseca with Freshing. He's going to talk to us about his business.
All right. Hi, good morning. My name is Adae Fonseca, 3 times founder, Army veteran, and project manager by training. Today, I'm going to talk to you about freshing because everyone deserves to have clean clothes. So what's the problem is laundry facilities are expensive. They also cost a lot of money to maintain. And surprisingly, a lot of people or a lot of locations still don't have access to laundry facilities, even here in Tampa, older apartments, dorms, motels, or places that have long stays. How much does a laundry facility cost to build? Anywhere between $50,000 to $500,000. So think of small business owners, people with small family-owned motels, RV parks, very expensive. It also costs a lot of money to maintain and service. But what do we offer? Excuse me. We offer an amenity 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, laundry kiosk that goes installed in your property outside that we service and maintain. So you can add a new amenity to your property, which raises the value of your property without having to incur any additional cost. Transform areas that are not making you any money or might be even costing you money into a profitable space that generates revenue for you without having to expand or incur the cost of expanding your property. Service and maintain, maintenance. So you can service and maintain these machines without any additional cost because we do all the maintenance and services of the machine. And you can support a company that's locally owned and operated right here in St. Pete or in the Tampa Bay area. A little bit about the machines. They fit in a parking spot. They're about the size of an outdoor parking spot. They have 2 washers and a dryer, a 20-pound washer and a 40-pound washer and a 40-pound dryer. They're cashless, so there's no risk there. They have low energy consumption, low water consumption, but they're fixed. They're not movable. So they get installed and they're sitting at one spot. Okay. So how does the process work? It's pretty easy. Easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, pick the location of the unit and the leasing term. We offer 2 types of leasing terms, 4 and 7 years. So we meet with the property owner and they pick the location where they want the unit. It has to have access to electrical and has to have access to water lines. Okay. We secure the permits. We bring the machine. We do the entire installation. Takes anywhere from 30 to 45 days. And then you start collecting revenue. Property owners receive a percentage of everything the machine generates. Okay. We even install the soap. The machines come with soap installed. So who is it ideal for? Motels, right? Average room in a motel, $50, $70. A lot of motels don't offer laundry facilities, but people do stay there long term. And the ones that do, or a lot of the ones that do, are very limited, 1 or 2 washers, maybe 1 or 2 dryers, older equipment. You can actually put this in a parking spot outside and it will generate the revenue of the equivalent of 10 to 15 additional rooms without having to expand your motel. Mobile home parks, huge for mobile home parks, right? Average mobile home, $550 to $750 for a lot. 80 plus, 40 plus units within a mobile home park. And again, you can install this outdoors in a mobile home park, and then basically you're building a laundry facility for the mobile home park where it didn't previously exist. Shopping centers, because of high traffic areas, we want a lot of volume on these machines. Apartment complexes. Surprisingly, there's still a lot of apartment complexes in the greater Tampa Bay area that don't have laundry facilities or laundry hookups. Gas stations or truck stops for overnight stay. And dorms. See a lot of college people here, so there might be no laundry facilities in your dorms. There you go, laundry kiosks. All right. This short presentation, only 7 slides. So we invite you to turn your empty space into an opportunity. My name is Adae Fonseca. If you have any questions, it's a short presentation. I want to leave time for questions. Okay. Thank you.
So a reminder, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and wait to be called on. And we do like to start this out by asking what the community can do for you.
Yeah, so I would like to connect with people that might benefit from installing a laundry facility, either property owners, property managers, motel owners, or other leaders in the community, nonprofits, for example, even within the government space, people that would have a need or a want of having a facility or laundry facilities installed for no cost to them. Yep. Yes, sir.
Great job. I love this. After knowing you from a few times, I never knew about this. So
Yeah, new project for me.
I love it. I love it. My question is around security, just so it's in the right space. Some places might, people waiting for their laundry might be a little intimidating for them. Is it lockable while it's in use and only I can get into it when I return to pick it up? And then what also would stop me if I didn't feel safe and I wanted to leave, that I left for too long, and someone else couldn't use the facility?
That's a great question. Number one question we get asked. So right now we haven't had a problem. We have 1 machine installed, 2 under contract that will be installed in the next few weeks. right now, they're not a lock. It's not a drop and go. It's a drop and stay, because what you want is volume. So you don't want somebody to put laundry, lock it, leave for 3 hours. And then there's a line of people wanting to use a machine. So we're not really encouraging that. But it can, if it becomes an issue, it's something that we can install locking mechanisms on. I was just telling somebody, we have a shopping center near here. They have like 20 food trucks and the thing. So the property owner is actually gonna make a whole thing of it. He's gonna put 2 machines, put chairs, umbrellas, bring a couple food trucks next to it. So you don't just leave. So that was a long answer to say they don't currently lock, but that is a feature that we can install if needed.
To say on that, if the concern is the amount of volume that you have, if somebody does leave their stuff in there and you lock it for the security reasons, then you can charge for each additional 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Ooh.
So that way you can't make money on that.
I
Write that down.
So I feel like Section 8 could be a great place for you to do this too, because it's government funded. And then you don't have to worry about installing all the stuff in the houses that are most likely going to be destroyed. And have you looked into solar?
How do you mean?
Because you
To
have,
power them?
one of the requirements is the power. So if you can get from the sun, then now it takes that.
I
necessity.
haven't even considered that, but something to think about for sure. Yeah,
That's it.
okay, you had a list, I was like, more, that's pretty brilliant.
The idea behind the 2 washers and 1 dryer,
2 washers and 1 dryer, 20-pound washer, a 40-pound washer, and then a 40-pound dryer.
is it modular where you keep adding more dryers if needed?
You can have like side-by-side machines, but like this is, I don't know if the picture does it, yes, it's a big size unit, so you can't really extend to that, but you can put other machines next to it. So in some locations, these are huge in Europe, and especially in France, all over France. So there's places you go to in France where there's literally like 30 machines side by side.
Right. Is it a regular cycle,
How do you mean, like
time wise? Is it
Yeah, the
regular
washer-
speed-
the
Regular
wa-
speed
yeah.
washer or
Yeah.
industrial where you wash it faster and it dries faster?
industrial? It is a little bit faster than your home machine.
A couple questions. One, like, what's kind of you said that you all provide the service. What is sort of the service interval for, like, you said that it's doing like soap and all that stuff on its own? Are you able to add your own like soap if you wanted to? Or other products to it while using?
You can add to the dryer. You can select the no soap option on the machine.
Okay.
Just put in your soap.
Okay.
Yeah, but it already comes preloaded, so you can just.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then how often do you all have to go out to service that to like refill?
They're
everything?
commercial machines, so they're not flimsy.
I just meant more like for like refilling like all the soap and that kind of
Oh.
stuff, the extra like parts.
It just really depends on how much volume. Like I can't give you like exact number after 1,000 washes we need to refill.
Okay,
I don't have that yet. We just don't have enough data yet.
okay.
There we go. Yes, ma'am.
Good presentation. Talk to me a little bit more about the leasing aspect of it. Could you just said you got a 5-year, I think.
For 4 and 7 year,
4 and 7, okay.
4 and 7 units.
And so what does that cost look like?
Cost for the property owner.
Yeah.
The only time there's a cost for the property owner is if the location that they select, the electrical is old and needs to be upgraded in order to support the machine. If there's no main water lines that we have to extend to tap into the actual main water line. If there has to be like a structural improvement in order for the machine to actually function properly, that's when there might be a cost to the owner.
Okay, so what is the perceived value? Based on so many washes a month, what is that income to the owner?
Well, I can tell you based on the machines that are currently in the market in Europe, the one here hasn't been fully installed yet. It'll be operational next month. But the ones in Europe, and I don't want to oversell it because we're cautious, they average between $40,000 to $60,000 a month
From
40 to 60.
per machine. 40 to 60,000 per machine. That's not to the owner.
Right.
He gets, but that's what the machine generates
Yeah.
on a monthly, on average, 40 to 60,000.
Yeah, like you said, you want to be cautious because
Yeah.
it's changing our minds. You gotta build that.
Yeah. So here in Tampa Bay, it's a brand new market. It's the first US market. that's the data from like the European market. Is that gonna correlate to that here? We don't know yet. But if you do have a high volume location, there's no reason why it couldn't hit those numbers, because they already are hitting those numbers.
So, two questions. You have 2 washers, 1 dryer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? I know that you're not manufacturing the unit here, but that would make more sense if there was 2 dryers, because then you can do double the volume on that side of things, right?
No, because I'm not the engineer who designed it, but I think that, you can put both washers in the big dryer and still dry without having to have.
Have you used one of these?
Personally?
Yeah.
I haven't yet. No,
Okay.
I have not.
I would say use it. Knowing your product inside and out, it's the best because you can sell it that much better. And is there a camera?
No cameras.
No camera. Interesting. Okay. I feel like that also help with
Yeah.
security too.
Yeah, we've discussed that.
60,000. So do you have the location of where that's at? And how many units they have in that one location that's producing $40,000 to $60,000 a month? Because I just can't see one unit doing that.
Yeah. Do I have the location?
Yeah, do you know where they have it stood up?
In France.
Right, but
Like a
where do they
specific-
have that? Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Is it like apartment complex? Is it
Apartment
shopping mall?
apartment
Gas
complex,
station?
shopping centers, and yeah, apartment complexes, shopping centers is the main places where they have them in France.
Okay.
But I can probably point you to certain areas where they generate higher volumes in France. I just don't know off the top of my head.
I got you.
I've been to France in a while, so no idea.
Okay.
No idea. It's a good question. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Did you say 40 to 60 or 4 to 6?
40 to 60.
Okay. I would definitely just lower that because that kind of blows people away a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the numbers are, and I don't really typically go into what the machines actually are generating, just because we don't know yet here what they're gonna do. But that's what they generate.
The presentation was really good. One recommendation to me, though, if you put this in a booklet form
Mm,
and you pay salesmen commission based on what they do this, you could have a nice sales force for yourself. They're getting paid straight commission, so they only work what they do, but I've been in sales before, stuff like this, I'd eat it alive,
let's talk.
okay?
Let's talk about it.
So that, no, I'm.
I thought you were interviewing. I thought you were applying. I'm like, let's go. Let's go.
And looking for a sales position.
Yeah.
To me, this is like ultimate, so.
I would love that if somebody's interested in, and because I'm leading the project go to market for this, but I also have multiple projects that I'm working. So if somebody's interested in, and we can talk, I'm open to it.
Well, that's where you need to put a sales book together and put an ad in for salespeople. I'm telling you, they'll be knocking your doors down for it.
Yeah, all right.
How many people a day can run through this? And what's the cost per service, per person?
Good question. So it's about $5 to run the full cycle, soap, washer, and dryer. How many iterations can run per day? So the washers take about 15 minutes to wash. The dryer is about 40 minutes to dry. So if it's 306, I don't know off the top of my head how many iterations that kind of converts to, but it's about 20 minutes to wash. I'm sorry, 15 minutes to wash, 40 minutes to dry. Yes.
So my question is actually more in regards to accessibility.
Hmm.
I remember you mentioning that this is a cashless machine.
Mhm.
If you are exploring this being accessible to motels, not hotels, which are on a lower value end, low income, Section 8, those type of things, you also mentioned nonprofits. It's not really accessible in those sectors because, I mean, that's great for retail. A lot of people are using card, but I would definitely explore some type of way to integrate a kiosk where maybe they can get a coin exchange because people, you want these accessible in those type of areas. And what I'm saying is I don't think a lot of people have card all the time, especially $5, right, on their card to use in these areas. So definitely explore ways where they can have other pay options. I understand that cash is a security issue, but maybe working out something with your partner to where they can exchange their cash for coin or a pay card or something like that, because only offering no cash and card, I mean, that's not really feasible to people that aren't retail shopping and live in
Yeah.
under severity.
So I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying correctly. So what you're suggesting is a cash option, token option for
Token,
people.
cash, or it's like working something out in that sense, because it seems touchscreen. So do people
Yeah.
go and like tap to pay with their card, or there's a swipe method? Like, what is your?
Yeah, it's tap to pay or swipe on
Okay,
the
so-
machine, just like you would at like Wawa if you're buying something, like use the phone, use your
And then
debit
that
card.
also risks a security question, a security threat. That also risks poses security threat with tap to pay as well. A lot of people don't feel comfortable using their tap, their chip. That has
Yeah.
also been a big threat in the world of cashless pay.
Hmm.
So I would just
Yeah.
explore opening those options up, especially if you want to install these in other type of areas just beside retail.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of room for modifications or different ways to kind of go about it once the machines once we get a lot more feedback, for sure. Yes, sir.
What's the life cycle of the machine? What's the lead time to produce those machines? And what's your footprint?
That sounds like a cryptid, the last one. The footprint meaning,
What's the dimensions?
they are 7x24. So they're, again, almost the size of like a parking spot. Lead time as far as ordering them, you mean?
From order to deliver,
From order to delivery, you can get a machine in 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, but you have the installation period too. So we would order halfway through the installation period because that's the permit phase, which is 30 to 45 days, depending on the municipality. And what was the other question you had? You had three.
Life cycle,
How long do they last?
correct.
Yeah, they're commercial. They're made to last a long time. I don't know what the if it's 10 years, 15 years, 20 years on the life.
You mentioned a lease. Is it a cost upfront,
Not to the property owner, no.
not to the property?
No,
owner?
it's 4 years or 7 year lease. They're signing just for the duration of the time they're gonna have the machine.
And
But
what's
there's
the-
no cost.
What's the exchange on the lease like? So just terms specifically or general? Is that they're leasing the equipment?
They're leasing the machine for a period of 4 or 7 years.
How much
They
are
are
they making?
receiving a percentage of what the machine generates. We service the machine for that period of time. And there are exit clauses within that lease period
Right.
that are specific to client or incident that requires a lease to be broken for whatever reason.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is an exit potentially, but it has to be, you have to meet like certain criteria in order to meet that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
If someone were to have a lease rather 4 or 7 years and then choose to not renew the lease, what would the process look like would it stay there? Would it then be removed?
It could be removed, but like I was just mentioning, there has to be like specific criteria that you meet in order to be able to get out of the lease or break the lease. If machine's not generating anything, if, it's in a location that's unsafe, people keep, people back into it, or it's, you know what I mean? Like there's different criterias. There is a break in the lease, but it has to meet those specific criteria.
I love this idea. I just have a few things. So for like the soap, because you guys are the one that are including it, correct? Is there enough soap in the unit that lasts all day if it continues running? If so, if it runs out, who replenishes that?
We do, or freshing goods.
So they would call somebody, the owner would probably call somebody out and they'd be out there. Okay, and then another idea is, let's say you put it in a high volume area. You don't want people waiting. Is there a way to have like a not a key, but like a text thing where like say, hey, your laundry's done, your spot's open, like I can't think of it.
Yeah, like an app, where
like-
it tells you your laundry's done.
Yeah,
There is a way, that's the short answer. Is it installed presently? No, because it's not a lock and walk away type scenario. You're there. We don't want you
I'm necessarily.
necessarily.
not thinking of like as lock and walk away, even though people will probably take advantage of that. I'm more of like, I want to use it after this person, but.
Yeah, like a wait list,
Yeah, wait list.
like a wait list. That's a great idea.
So I'll come back.
So the answer is no, but that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So I'm sorry if I missed this, but is it monitored in any way? So back to David's question, like there runs out of soap. An alarm goes off someplace and someone gets in a truck and goes and refills it, or how many times the machines are being used every day? Is it?
Yes, so
cellularly connected?
we know how many spins it has, how many loads it's done, what percentage of the soap is like on the back end. We know all the activity that's happening with the machine. Some
How?
breaks, What's that?
How is it monitored?
On a dash, like an app, like we know
So
on
it's
the
a
back
connect-
end. The app is not available for you to be on a wait list or anything like that, but on the back end,
Each of
there
these
is.
locations is monitored remotely.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Does the owner of the facility where you're placing it have some type of app to show how much it's being used, so they have an idea, because they have an expense of the electricity and water,
Mhm.
and they're gonna need to know, well, how much is it gonna cost me, like you said, $5 a minute ago? It's gonna cost this, but how much is it costing the owner
Yeah,
to run that facility, so they can actually see a profit? And will he have some type of app where he can see how much is actually being done, so he can keep track himself?
not an individual, but meaning an individual app that they would download to kind of track. But they would get a performance report on what the machine is doing. Right? But I'm just thinking in my head out loud. So an app for them or something for them to be able to track their expenses individually without having to receive the actual report. That's a good
Because-
idea. I should write some of these down.
Because,
this is
because
really
right
good stuff.
now,
And then, like,
they're depending on you to tell them, oh, I only made $5 this week, I
Yeah.
didn't make $50.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, no, they would get a
but it's
performance
costing me a certain
report.
amount of money.
Yeah, they would get a performance report, but I think the idea also of giving them the flexibility to not wait for the performance report, be able to do it on their own, I think that's pretty smart too.
I think we have time for like one more question and then we're gonna have to move
Go
on.
ahead. Let that jump.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a expert at all on laundromats, but I know the private equity space when it comes to laundromats have been kind of slowing down quite a lot. And I'm curious if you have any sort of market study on, the entire laundromat space, because this is direct competition with laundromats, correct?
Yeah. How do you mean, like, for private equity, like funding or something like that for the company? But that's not something, the company's well funded, they wouldn't at this point even
Not
consider.
necessarily funding, I'm saying you have a very scalable product, I'm just seeing if industry itself is growing
Hmm,
alongside the scalability. Because
Yeah.
you're planning on installing a bunch of basically automated laundromats. The current laundromats that are in place today are going out of business. I wanted to understand, is that industry growing enough to
to sustain the
To sustain
scalability, the
scale.
possible scalability of the company itself,
Precisely,
right? So the US is one of the top laundry mat markets in the world. It's in the billions. It is not growing like rapidly, but it's not stagnant either. It's growing very small percentage. When it comes to scalability, like it's gonna grow 200%, 100%. I just don't know the answer to that. Good question though.
I can tell you.
Oh,
as a
good
property
stuff.
manager, this is appealing. Because then I can prove to tenants that they don't have to go to a laundromat, because they can just go right outside their door. And we're pulling from certain cities, we're pulling our washers and dryers for city codes, so now our tenants are having to go to laundromats, which is not ideal for them, so then they're not renewing their lease because it's a pain in the butt for them. Right, so it's a good sell.
Your sales force going after property managers, that's a good.
Yeah, property managers is definitely property managers, mobile home parks for sure. Yeah,
The
property
image
managers.
of the gas station is my concern of people getting the wrong idea. The idea of having an apartment complex,
Mhm.
hotels, et cetera, that's.
Yeah,
lower
huge.
hanging fruit.
For real, yep. That it? That it?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, okay, good questions.
It's a great product. I'm sure we're gonna start seeing these popping up all over Tampa Bay. It sounds like maybe there's a property manager right here who you should talk to after this is all done. Oh, yeah. All right, while everything gets set up for our next presenter, I'd like to go on ahead and take a moment to recognize the sponsors for this event. So aside from the Kaufman Foundation, who puts together 1 million cups as a whole, we also have the Hillsborough County ECC, that's the building we're in right here. And so the Hillsborough County puts this together, so we have a space for all of you guys to come together gives us a space to come together. It puts a lot of resources for entrepreneurs and small businesses into one building where you can do that. So it's also super important to check in with them, let them know that we are using the space. But I also would love to thank our other sponsor, Blind Tiger. They're a fantastic coffee company. I always smile when I say this because I actually work for them. I'm the one who brought the coffee today, so I feel like I'm tooting my own horn a little bit here when I do that. But you know, it's just Blind Tiger. Actually, I think the owner is right back there on one of the posters of the people who started out here. And you know, it's just an example of the community and what the ECC can do for you and your business and how it can grow, and then how you can come back and keep supporting other entrepreneurs in the space. All right. And then without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and call up Maurice Ringo with Player Development Experience.
Morning. Thank you guys for being here. I know it was a cold morning. I know it was a lot of traffic on there, at least for me. So I appreciate you guys for coming. So once again, my name is Maurice Ringo. I am an NIL athlete agent. My background is in marketing and strategic partnerships. I work with Beasley Media Group, which are your local radio stations such as 94.1, 99.5 QYK, 105 The Shark, and others. So that's my previous background. I previously owned and operated a modeling and talent agency. Shifted over from that to now being a professional basketball coach as well. I'm a high school basketball coach at the brand new high school in Waimama called Morgan High School. And I basically just transitioned over to getting my athletes that I coach brand deals. So I'll tell you guys a little bit more about PDX as we go on. So about us, we are a premier development and athlete branding agency that help athletes brand themselves on and off the court, whether that be personal development or whether that be with strategic partnerships. Basically, our mission is to bridge the gap between brands or companies like yourself to align with the vision and initiatives of our athletes. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what NIL is. Some of you might know, some of you may not. NIL is the right of a high school, not in Florida, unfortunately, but high school, collegiate, and professional athletes gives them the right to monetize their name, their image, and their likeness. So Caitlin Clark, I'm sure you've seen her on a lot of brands, a lot of different commercials coming up. Let's say any football player, any athlete you might think of who does a Sprite commercial, or Shaq, who's with General Insurance. It's a perfect example. He uses his name, his image, his likeness to monetize his brand or his name. So the problem that we all have, the reason we're all here, we're trying to get clients. It's a very saturated market that all of us are in. Speaking of like the laundry market, it's saturated. It's hard to gain clients and also retain them. So our mission is very clear. We are community driven and we create value-based content that is aligned with your market audience. Also, we have a pretty clear brand vision. Once again, that's to align your brand with an athlete's brand so that it makes sense for you all's both target market. And the result at the end of the day is that we turn community trust, education, and authenticity into a sustainable customer growth. So some of our services, once again, we do performance training as well as player development, personal development, that's off the court. We also do personal branding. Once again, we help an athlete that may not be as well-versed in creating content. We assist that athlete with different strategic ideas on how they can create lifestyle content, as well as branding content for whether it be basketball, lacrosse, or someone who might just be an influencer in fashion, right? It depends on what that athlete is into. We assist that athlete with giving them general ideas on how to gain more of an audience. Also, we assist them with NIL and sponsorship guidance. Some don't know what to do with their money when they actually get money. That's a big thing right now. Some people don't know that they have to pay taxes. Anything over $600, you have to pay taxes on that, right? A lot of these athletes are just spending their money and they don't really understand what to do with that. Also, contract negotiation. A lot of contracts, unfortunately, that companies offer these athletes, they're not for the athlete. So we assist with contract negotiation as well as investment opportunities. So instead of you're spending your money on a Rolex or a nice Corvette, maybe you'll be able to invest it into maybe an index fund or something that helps you monetize later on in life and build wealth longevity. And then, of course, lifestyle and career management. Not every athlete plays like LeBron for 40, 20, 30 years. Some of these athletes, they stop at about 30 years old. So I currently have athletes who set up basketball camps, or they set up foundations, such as Terrence Kinsley. He went to Jefferson High School, assisting him with his foundation. So there's many ways that we assist these guys off the court as well, not just on the court or on the field. So why partner with us? For one, we have access to athletes that not necessarily like LeBron James, right? Nobody here is talking to LeBron James, but you might be able to get to the University of Tampa women's basketball. I have the captain on our roster. Her name is Olivia Davis. You'll see her up top. We also have some athletes that are bigger brands, such as the Harlem Globetrotters. We work with QC Cloud. We also work with Jake Paul with his Get W brand. So we have a lot of different brands that are accessible to us, as well as athletes that are accessible to us. Most of all, marketing wise, we get over 200K monthly impressions on most of our content, and that is with our bigger athletes or more marketable athletes. Those have been doing it for a while. We will not just have an athlete do one post for you and then it's they're not sales reps. They're more so storytellers for your brand. And also it's cost effective. Most small businesses like ourselves may not have a huge marketing budget. Well, that's where you'll come to us and we'll align the athlete that does, not mind necessarily taking $500, $1,000 to market your brand. And in one client for you all, I'm sure it equals more than that. And of course, we always have a meeting to assess what that looks like for each client. And just a quick overview, so I can show you some of our bigger, some of our larger viewerships or insights. You'll see we have 2 million views. This is on a post that we created for a shoe company. And some of our smaller, you'll see we have about 230,000 views. And that was for a water brand. That was for a local Tampa water brand. All right, so unfortunately, I'm getting the stop. I had a few more sites to show you, but that's all we got for today. Any questions? There's so much to it, so I apologize, but yeah, any questions?
Is there anything that the community can do for you?
Yes, the community first can bring me investors. That's the first thing. Second of all, I'd like you just to go and you follow me. I'll put it on the next slide. You'll be able to follow our page and reach out to me for anything you all might need for your, whether it be a health and wellness, whether it be, I have realtors who use our athletes to do showings for their homes. Myself, I'm also a property manager. Me and my wife do community management as well as condo associations. You never know. Any athlete, about 78% of branded content with an athlete, it actually increases, any content that you use with an athlete, it actually brings the consumer purchase level to about 78% versus any other type of marketing, traditional marketing. So just bring any questions you might have, really. Yes.
So is your company basically the middleman between the athlete and the company that wants to advertise?
Absolutely. You got it, round the dot.
Okay.
Do you guys create content or do you come up with the content strategy?
Both. So we have a media team that creates the content, and we also, some companies send us the content that they want us to post, and then we would just connect it with the athlete that aligns with that initiative.
Okay. And then how do you guys make money on it?
So the athlete would sign a contract. Let's just say we did a $3,000 contract with Netsquick. They would either send the money and then the agency takes an agency fee and the athlete gets the rest.
What is your team system, and is that team scalable based on market development?
So currently I am the team for agency wise. I do have a media team as well, but we're currently in training and in search for getting other agents on board.
Legal, like a lawyer.
Yeah, I have a lawyer. I have a team of lawyer sports attorneys backing me. I have investors that work with Charles Schwab. So we have that whole backing so that I do what I do and they do what they do. So we do have every piece of the puzzle that you might need, as well as content creation. Yes.
Maurice, great presentation. I love this idea. You see 2 million like athletes that end up following, to the bottom because they don't know how to do taxes or other things are getting taken advantage of. How are you currently looking for players?
So there's two ways that brands or that you all, I would suggest, looking to collaborate with an athlete should look for. First thing is their market value, which is social media. Second thing is their roster value, which is how they play. So I'm currently looking for that. Is this person character-wise, first off, are you a good fit for my agency? Are you consistent, right? Just like anything else. And I'm sure those sales reps, most companies, and I'm sure you know, you want to hire athlete as a sales rep because they're usually consistent, usually driven. You don't have to do a lot of pushing to get them going. So that's what we're looking for, and that's what brands are looking for. I've come across, especially the bigger brands like Get W or Bucked Up. They're like, our issue is we send out all this product and athlete never posts anything. Well, with us, we don't have that issue because I interview each athlete personally. They all have my cell phone, and I know who will and who won't do certain things. Yes.
In case you have any really high profile athletes.
Yes.
With any serious health issues.
Okay.
I will show them how to get rid of it, whether it's cancer, no matter what his disease is.
Okay.
I can show them why he has it and how to get rid of it. And that might be able to bring you clients that you might not be able to get otherwise because they have nobody else that can help them get rid of cancer and other diseases.
Okay. I'll get your info.
Love this, it's an industry that's kind of in its pioneer days as we all learn NIL, et cetera. So it's kind of like Bill Battle with Collegiate License Company. He founded that and connected collegiate, Coach Paul Bryant and started that industry. So this is great. I would, two things. I'm not sure where you need the investors that you asked for. I think just do more business, connect and make more relationships, do it that way. Don't give up anything. But also maybe not say player development from the coaching aspect, remove that of the four things that you had up there to not confuse what you do. I know it's what you're probably passionate as a coach about. And maybe use the term though, player development off the court, player development off the field, in the terms of finances, et cetera, and image and all that.
So I agree. And I was speaking with Allen Iverson because I'm going to do the Allen Iverson Classic in January. And he was saying, well, the opposite. He was like, I can't, especially if I'm connecting with other, let's say, chiropractors or doctors, right? They don't want me to promote they don't want to say, you're the agency we're working with. So you have to come in and say, hey, this is a person who just trains athletes and also helps them with their personal branding. So I agree with you. It just depends on the audience.
True, because like if you go to IMG, you don't want to see it as a competition.
As the only agent that IMG works with, correct. So it depends on, so I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Maurice, awesome idea. I know someone who runs a, NIL business agency similar to yours. And I'm very curious what your contracts look like on the player side and how do you avoid attrition to other agencies? So
I position myself where they get higher. So commission structure, the higher the check, the lower percentage I get. I don't go any higher than 20%. It was the same when I was running athletes or models and actors. They don't get anything over the industry standard. But yeah, I do it on a tier system. So and I'll be honest with you, let's say $500, 20% of $500. Do I really want to take 20%? No. So, right. Like, what am I going to get out of that? So sometimes, to be honest, I might just let them keep so that we could build the relationship. But yeah, I mean, the contracts are, even for me, is not, I'm still learning on how I need to structure it, but that's what I have the sports attorneys for. I'm not well versed in it, but I've set it up to where they win and I win, but I win more with the relationship because what I'm in is a business of relationships. So like you asked me, what can I just need to network mostly versus getting anything monetary.
I really like how you said your services don't make these athletes into sales reps, but storytellers.
Correct.
I think that's really effective in branding themselves at such an early stage. I was wondering though, with so many NIL businesses out there, even in this area, What's your biggest value prop to help you differentiate yourself from these companies?
So my biggest value prop is that I am niche. Not only do I have equestrian show riders, lacrosse players, cheerleaders, and I also am a one-on-one agent. I'm not a huge agency, so you can call me now and you'll get me at any point in time, right? And I'm also connected with the community, whereas some might just be like, I don't really have time for that. And you all are trying to obviously connect with the community versus the agency. You may get a call back later, maybe an email next week. I'm very involved with community. So where you guys are trying to connect with people here, some of the bigger agencies might be somewhere else doing something somewhere else where you have my one-off, right? And have there been any other sports agencies here at 1 Million Cups? That's what separates. Any other questions? All right, thank you. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the presentation. That was fantastic. Kind of wish they had NIL back when I was in school. All right, so anyway, I'd like to take a moment to go ahead and recognize our Tampa Bay organizers. We have Dr. Shane Smith, Miranda, myself, Walter, Josh Ray, Pamela McCoy. Okay, all right. I think it's everybody actually here. We have David, Kate, Lynn, Cassidy. That's Cassidy. Okay. Anyway, if you're an organizer, go on ahead and raise your hand so people can see it. They can give you a round of applause. Thank you for participating. And then just so y'all know, if you're traveling, if you're not right in this area on a Wednesday morning, there are 1 Million Cups chapters all over the country, and there are others in the area as well. Find yourself in Lakeland. No, Lakeland.
Yep, Lakeland and Claremont, I heard it just opened up in July. So there's options out there.
Yeah, there are. You can always just go to 1millioncups.com and look up where there's chapters to find a meeting. And you know, if you're traveling, it's always cool to go and see how other people do it across the country, what the kind of businesses are in those communities, and you know, see if it's something that you feel like you want to bring to your hometown. Right, and I'm going to turn this over to David so he can talk about our different events coming up here at the ECC.
Yeah, I'll make it real quick. Again, if you haven't already, scan the standing up QR code. That signs you up for the newsletter. It comes out once, maybe twice a week. And it tells you the next couple of weeks of events that we got going on here. But today, after this, we have 2 events at 10:30. One in the front room is leveraging AI for small business success. And then in this room, we have WUSF coming in here to teach about podcasting. They had a great session last month, and I think we're going to keep having that monthly. So that'll be in here at 10:30. And then tonight with the MUMA College of Business for USF, we have data analytics and AI meetup. Pretty much just a networking group for people who want to learn AI. And then they have a presentation on different applications out there. If you have any questions about anything that you see coming up, you can come talk to me. Eve's in the front right now at the reception desk. We're here to help. I want to make sure you get some network before podcasting comes in. So thank you everybody for coming in today.